What if I told you that the very thing sitting quietly in your kitchen, a simple pinch of salt, once decided the fate of empires, sparked wars, and shaped human civilization itself? Pause. Salt is so common today that we barely think about it, but throughout history, it has been more valuable than gold, and its secrets are far more fascinating than most of us realize. Salt, at its core, is just sodium chloride, two elements combining to form tiny white crystals. But those crystals have an outsized role in human history. Without salt, our bodies wouldn't function, our muscles wouldn't contract, our nerves couldn't transmit signals, and life as we know it would literally grind to a halt. Pause. That's right. Salt isn't just a seasoning, it's a biological necessity. Ancient civilizations knew this, and they prized salt so highly that entire cities were built around salt deposits. In China, salt mining can be traced back over 4,000 years, and the word salary itself comes from the Latin word salarium because Roman soldiers were once paid in salt. Imagine that, your paycheck being measured in handfuls of salt. But why was salt so valuable? The secret lies in preservation. Before refrigerators, salt was humanity's best tool for keeping food edible. A slab of salted meat or fish could last weeks, even months, without spoiling. This ability didn't just change diets, it changed economies. Armies could march further, sailors could travel oceans, and trade routes could connect continents, all thanks to salt. Salt's influence is hidden in language too. When we call someone worth their salt, we're echoing ancient beliefs about value. When we say someone is the salt of the earth, we're referencing an old idea that salt represented purity, honesty, and strength. Even the word salad comes from the practice of seasoning vegetables with salt. It's everywhere, even in our speech. But salt wasn't just a tool for survival, it was a spark for power struggles. Entire wars were fought over salt mines and trade routes. In medieval Europe, cities like Venice became wealthy by controlling salt distribution. In Africa, caravans carried blocks of salt across the Sahara Desert, often trading it pound for pound with gold. Pause. Think about that. At one point in history, salt was as precious as gold. Even revolutions were tied to salt. In 1930, Mahatma Gandhi led the famous Salt March, a peaceful protest against British colonial taxes on salt in India. That march became one of the defining moments of India's independence movement, proving that salt could be both a weapon and a symbol of freedom. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Salt isn't just about history, it's about science too. Salt has a unique power to enhance flavor. It doesn't just make food taste salty, it amplifies sweetness, reduces bitterness, and makes flavors more vibrant. That's why even desserts like chocolate cake or caramel taste better with a sprinkle of salt. Pause. In a way, salt is the hidden conductor of the flavor orchestra, and it plays tricks on our biology too. Humans are hardwired to crave salt because, unlike other nutrients, our bodies can't produce sodium naturally. This craving was once crucial for survival, but in today's world, met with processed foods loaded with salt, it is a double-edged sword. While too little salt can be deadly, too much can raise blood pressure and increase the risk of heart disease. Still, not all salts are created equal. Table salt, sea salt, Himalayan pink salt, kosher salt, they may all look different, but chemically, they're almost the same. Sodium chloride. The real difference lies in texture, trace minerals, and how they dissolve on your tongue. That's why chefs debate endlessly about which salt to use, because the choice can subtly change the taste and feel of a dish. And speaking of pink salt, Himalayan salt isn't actually from the Himalayas. It's mined from ancient sea deposits in Pakistan. Its pink color comes from tiny amounts of iron oxide, and while it looks exotic and beautiful, scientifically, it doesn't offer miraculous health benefits that regular salt doesn't. But marketing, as always, adds its own kind of magic. Salt has also shaped geography in unexpected ways. Entire towns are built near salt deposits, and underground salt mines stretch for miles, with some so vast that they host concerts, chapels, and even museums inside their glittering chambers. The Wieliczka salt mine in Poland, for example, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most breathtaking underground wonders in the world. And here's a strange fact. Salt is one of the very few edible rocks. Think about it. We don't chew granite, marble, or limestone, but we do sprinkle this mineral on almost everything we eat. It's a reminder of how unusual salt really is in the natural world. Salt even reaches into religion and superstition. In many cultures, spilling salt was considered bad luck, a symbol of betrayal. That's why in Leonardo da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper, Judas is shown knocking over a salt dish. To ward off the bad omen, people began tossing a pinch of spilled salt over their left shoulder, a ritual still practiced today. On a larger scale, salt continues to influence modern industries in ways most of us never notice. Did you know that only a small fraction of mined salt is used for food? The majority goes into industrial processes, from making plastics to de-icing roads, even in producing chemicals and cleaning agents. Salt is quietly powering industries, not just seasoning dinners. And here's a scientific curiosity. Salt water has a higher boiling point than fresh water, and it also lowers the freezing point. That's why throwing salt on icy roads in winter makes them safer, because the salty water requires a colder temperature to freeze. Without salt, winter travel would be far more dangerous. But perhaps the most surprising secret about salt is how it connects us globally. Every culture, every cuisine, every household has its own relationship with salt, from soy sauce in Asia to salted cod in Europe to salted caramel in modern desserts. Salt is universal, a common thread tying humanity together across time and space. So the next time you sprinkle salt on your meal, pause for a moment. You're not just adding flavor. You're touching a mineral that built empires, inspired revolutions, shaped languages, and kept humans alive for millennia. Salt is more than a seasoning. It's the hidden foundation of civilization itself. If you learned something new about salt today, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more fascinating stories about everyday foods, and share this video with someone who can eat a meal without reaching for the salt shaker. And now, tell me in the comments, do you prefer fine table salt, flaky sea salt, or the pink crystals of Himalayan salt? Like and subscribe to stay with us on this delicious journey through the world of food and ancient flavors.